Hey, call me Shape, and today we're reacting to a video titled Women Are Raging Because 63% of Men Have Gone Their Own Way. Let's get right into it.
No man wants me to be his girlfriend!
I've never understood why men treat women in their 30s as if they are like the most undesirable things on the planet.
Ladies, unfortunately, 95% of men are not approaching women anymore.
Women are outraged because 63% of men have gone their own way. But they still don't realize that they did this to themselves, since they still continue the same behaviors that contributed to men walking away.
Men are trash.
Men are trash.
Yes.
Describe your ideal man.
Less than 1% type
Describe
of
him.
guy.
Describe him.
All has money more than I would make.
Minimum amount of money that you would want your man to make a year or net worth.
Over $1 million a year. I
Amount of
don't want to
money?
date someone that makes less money than I do.
Why would a guy who makes $1 million a year, and I mean this sincerely, why would he want to marry you?
It's clear they only want walking bank accounts.
I have asked the last 3 dudes I've dated for their bank account info on the first date.
Like the login?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna pull up this text. Okay, this guy I met like last month and he's younger. So, but this is how much he has in his account. He's 27 and has that much in his account. Yes, I screenshotted it and sent it to myself.
They want to take advantage of us and use us for the resources we have, while also encouraging other women to do the same. They also say that this is the bare minimum and to never settle for anything less.
I cannot stress this enough. Men are not worth settling for in any circumstance, any way, shape, or form. It's not worth it. Once you get to the mindset that men are not worth settling for, that is when you get the good men, because they're the only ones that you'll accept.
This mindset that men aren't good enough is rooted in their dissatisfaction of the average man. The problem is not that men aren't good enough. The problem is they don't want average. Let's go to a hypothetical situation where every man on earth met their ridiculous standards. Their old standards would just become the new bare minimum and the new average, leading to them being dissatisfied again.
Once and only once a year, I will go out with a man who's 5'10", because typically 5'11" is my minimum. I only really did it because, and it only ever really happens out of desperation, because it's been a minute since I've gotten literally anyone to go on a freaking date with me, let alone have a conversation.
Notice how she said she only did it out of desperation because the men she wants won't give her the time of day. I noticed a correlation between the never settle mindset and average women wanting above average men, which never goes well for them, but they would never settle for anything less. What's funny is when you ask them why would their ideal man marry them, they always freeze up and realize he wouldn't. Then they get angry at the person who asked that question.
Why would a guy who makes $1 million a year, and I mean this sincerely,
deep down, they know this man will never marry them, but they ignore it because of their entitlement. They think they deserve this man simply because they exist and think they can get him by having high standards. But that hasn't worked for them yet, since they're all still single. And I doubt it will work any better as they get older.
Being a single mom is so damn hard.
We don't care.
I have lost the absolute last shred of hope I had that there's still good men left in the world.
We don't care.
So I guess day one, since the person I thought I would marry broke up with me.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Before we continue, I would like to ask you to like the video if you have enjoyed it this far and subscribe to the channel so you don't...
Yeah, like my video and subscribe to my channel, but I will put a link to the original video in the description. Either way, so I think it's funny. I think it's hysterical because one of the last women said, oh, men, they don't make any good men anymore. But my question for her is, what about, are you a good woman? right? Because women have high standards for us, but low standards for themselves. How convenient, right? It's high standards. We need to be above average. We need to be above average height, above average pay. We got to be a top 1% men. But for them, body positivity. Stop fat shaming me. You see how this goes? And you know what? The world continues to do this because no one's standing up saying anything about it. So that's why I love the fact that men are going their own way, because now we're pushing back at the matriarchy, right? We're pushing back at all the women that say that we have to accept them overweight, out of shape, with bad attitudes, and don't appreciate. Not happening.
Any future videos.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Probably a bear, because I detest men. I'm a misandrist. You know, it's how I am. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But yeah.
The bear versus man trend is pretty stupid, considering the men they're talking about only make up 1.28% of the male population. It's just another excuse for misandrists to spread their extreme opinions on men, which is why it's gotten so popular among Western women, just like 4B did.
I never get hit on when I go out. Like, I think my outfit is so cute.
We don't care.
About it is either I'm ugly, which is why guys don't talk to me, or I'm like too attractive that they're intimidated, which is why they don't talk to me. And I don't think I'm ugly, so I'm going to go with option number 2.
Being delusional is concerning. But you know what's even more concerning? Not having health insurance. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Ishmael Stonewall. Take it from here, Ish.
Yeah, so thanks, Shape. So as we know, a lot of people are looking for health insurance right now. It's open enrollment. I offer free consultations to my clients. We work with small businesses, families, and individuals to find their best health insurance options. Now, we work with all major carriers, Aetna, Blue Cross, Cigna, and United, on their public and private networks. Typically, we save our clients about 20% on their premiums, and we get them PPO networks, which means nationwide coverage. So if anyone listening here could benefit from a consultation, maybe save some money on your insurance or find something better, hit me up, give me a call, give me a text, schedule with me, and I'll see if I can help you out. Let's go.
Yeah, so if you need health insurance or you're looking to reduce your premiums, give my buddy Ishmael a call and let him know Shape sent you.
Men are not intimidated by attractive women. The reason they don't approach you is because you aren't worth approaching. Saying men don't approach you because you intimidate them is just you coping.
Did you know that 53% of single men don't approach women because they're scared of coming off as creepy? This means that single women are going to have to step up their game and make the first move. You're telling me half of men will finally leave me and my friends alone at the bar and stop coming with their unsolicited advances? Let's ramp those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
She accidentally included herself when she said men were approaching her friends. But let's look past that and acknowledge the only true statement she said, which was that 53% is rookie numbers.
50% of men from 18 to 29, it's not even like they want to date anymore. They're single and they're not looking. So we're dealing with a very small pool of men, which means we need to be wise. But I'm sorry, but I don't think any of y'all know how men work. Because the way that I'm hearing you guys talk, it's like two different worlds. From our perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But we have Brian here, we have the cameraman. Men operate on a completely different spectrum when it comes to relationships.
This is because they think the world revolves around them. They don't care if men view relationships differently, because their opinions are the only ones that matter. Let's take a look at an example of this.
If your man woke you up at 2 a.m., he said, baby, can you cook me a meal? Would you cook your man a meal if he woke you up at 2 a.m.?
No. Just being honest.
What about you, Kiki?
It all depends on how I'm feeling.
All right, it depends.
Oh, another depends.
It depends on the situation.
Here's another question. If an intruder broke inside the house, would you or would you not expect your man to go downstairs and handle that break at the door? Natasha.
Absolutely.
Allie.
Yes.
Kiki.
All I'm saying is if you don't, it's over after that.
Yeah, I would expect that.
What I've heard was that a woman's wifey duty is based off her feelings, right? It depends on how I feel. But the man's duty of protecting you, it's mandatory. How is it a fair deal?
These are so different.
Yeah, risking your life is so different than me cooking you a meal. Cooking you a meal 3 a.m. in the morning is unreasonable, but you defending your life, risking your life for me, makes all the sense in the world. A lot of women suffer from main character syndrome. They just think the whole world revolves around them. Listen, the way I believe women think about the world is like this is one big shopping mall, and all the high value men are down one aisle, and women just pass that aisle with their shopping cart and throwing all the men that they want in the shopping cart, and then going to the cash register and then buying what they want. Except for it's like that, plus the fact that they want the man who they put in their shopping cart to pay for themselves. Because, hey, look, you're a man, right? You're the wallet. So it's funny to me because the reality of it is I think most women, the reason why they don't succeed with men is because the men that they really want don't want them. So they get burnt out from being in that man's rotation and being his side chick. They get pissed off about that. So then they date the guys that are really thirsty for them, right? The guy that really likes them. Because the guy they really like don't really like them. He'll smash them, and he does smash them, but he doesn't really like them. So they go for the guy that really likes them, and they get pregnant by that guy. And they find out that that guy's a loser, has no ambition, has nothing going for them, and they break up with him, but they still have his kid. So now they go back on the dating market as a single mom, and now they want to get the high value man, the one they should have had a kid with from the beginning. But the problem is they wasn't desirable to the high value men when they didn't have a child. Now they're even less desirable. But women don't see it that way because they have main character syndrome. That means that for them, it doesn't matter who likes them in the grand scheme of things. It's who they like, what they want, right? It's not about what they bring to the table. It's what everyone else brings to the table, right? Because the man has to bring height, attractiveness, and money to the table, and she just got to show up and collect, right? High standards for men, low standards for women. And no one challenges them. Why? Because women are a valuable sector of marketing, meaning that most women make a lot of decisions when it comes to purchasing for households and for themselves. So men, we're not that valuable to big money, to big corporations, because they know that we're gonna buy whatever the women want us to buy. Right? When it comes to decorating a house, we know that the woman's taste is going to be what determines what items are going to be purchased and bought. Man, we don't really care about decorations. We just have very little influencing on consumer spending. And we're not like these keep it up with the Joneses. So for us, we don't need to follow some it product or it service or it person or idea. We don't have to follow it. Where if you look in the gym, right? I work in the gym, and you could just look at the it girls, right? Air quotes, it girls. And they'll show you all the trends going on in the gym. The clothing, the sneakers. There's always something trending. Whether it's a Yeti cup, always. And the sneakers usually change every couple of weeks, right? Every 4 or 5 weeks is like a new trendy sneaker or so, or 6, 7 weeks is a new trendy sneaker, or a new trendy colorway for that sneaker. So the it girls would have the new colorway, the new sneaker, and then every other girl will follow along. And this is how the group, the feminine herd moves, One person's the leader, or a small group of people are the leader, and everyone else follows. No one else questions it. That is their religion, because they are spiritually connected to the female herd. And that's why we don't have any progress, because one bad apple is spoiling the rest when it comes to women. And so what do I think the solution is going to be? Men going their own way. Even for me, even a guy who some men would consider a Chad, or I get girls, or whatever. I don't really care either way. But even someone like me, according to what other people estimate me to be, I struggle with women. I struggle. So if I'm struggling with women, and the average guy's struggling with women, we're all screwed. We're all screwed, right? Because they give me a hard time too. A lot of people think if you're a black pill thinker, you think, oh, these Chads, they have no issues with girls. We have a lot of issues with girls, and it doesn't end. It doesn't end.
The one is like you're both about to die, maybe. Right, and if you don't do it, you're going to die too.
So it's not about the situation. It's about what the man is attracted to, and it's about what the woman is attracted to. The man is attracted to femininity, submissiveness. The woman is attracted to masculinity, protecting and providing. So if you're not giving what we are naturally attracted to, it's not a fair deal if we have to always give you what you're naturally attracted to. That's going to protect you.
The reason they think like this is because they want to be able to do anything they want whenever they want without any responsibility, consequences, or negative feedback. This is why they say when I feel like it's insane that absolves them of responsibilities. and they will use any negative reaction you have towards that against you. They even tried to do that in the video by saying, "We're going to die if you don't protect me," even though that argument is illogical, since the man is more likely to die from trying to fight the intruder who will have some sort of weapon, rather than letting them take items that can be replaced.
It's called the 30 by 30 initiative and challenges police departments to increase their number of women on the force to 30% by the year 2030. Their goal, a 30% female police force. Last year, it was 11%. This year, it's 13%.
We don't care.
She says among the biggest changes they've made to help attract recruits, especially women, no more physical ability tests.
What's that? Say that again?
She says among the biggest changes they've made to help attract recruits, no more physical ability tests.
I don't know what is going on.
Now trainees must pass a physical agility test designed to mirror tasks in the field.
Which means we're all
Yet another.
You know, it's so funny because we lower standards for women and we raise standards for men. And then we act like the whole world's equal. Isn't that funny? Right? We lower the standard for women, raise standard for men, but we argue that we want equality. See, I don't believe women actually want equality. I believe they want to have opportunities equal to men without actually being equal to men. Right? So if we want more women on the police force, right, the 30 by 30 initiative, we got to lower the standard. We got to lower the hoop. Right? So what are we going to be inherently doing when we do that? Well, we're going to inevitably and inherently be making police officers weaker, less qualified than they were prior. And police forces are not known for being the most fit people in the world anyway. So if you lower the standard more than what it is now, we're not going to be safer in our neighborhoods. We're actually going to be less safer. If 3 out of 10 cops are female, we're going to be less safer. That means 30% of the incidents, you know, that could potentially be used with deadly force or an intruder or some kind of violence, the cops won't be able to stop because the women just won't be physically capable, right? I'm confident that 2 female cops still couldn't take down 1 male bad guy. 1, right? He probably washed both of them. And that's if he's unarmed. Imagine if he's armed. But this is the cosmetic justice the world wants to see. The world wants to see that, hey, we're going to prop women up to be just as qualified as men, and they can do everything men can do, right? They can do everything a man can do. Because we're just like replaceable, right? Men are just stupid. Women can just come around and just do our jobs and do our stuff, right? So why not? Why 30% of the police department? Why not 70% and keep us at 30%? How about that? How about, reduce all the male officers. How about that? That's going to be the true equality. In fact, no, that's not the true equality. They said 13% today. So how about we swap those numbers? How about 87% of the police force be women and 13% of the police force be men? Is anyone curious how that's going to turn out for us? And people should do that for bodyguards too. Most people should hire female bodyguards. I've never seen a female bodyguard before. But most people need to start hiring female bodyguards just because of DEI and inclusivity and actually being fair to everyone else. Sounds like a bad idea to me. I'm sure it sounds like a bad idea to you. But this is what the world wants. The world wants to even the playing field for men and women by making it easier for women, but pretending like we didn't make it easier for women. Yeah, makes a ton of sense. And I'm for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's add more women to the police force. Absolutely. Let's let this whole feminist ideology be taken to its logical distance, right? Let's let them continue in their folly and see what's going to happen. Because to me, what's the outcome is going to be is that the world's going to see then and there and then for all that women cannot replace men. And I don't understand the reason why. I don't understand the reason why women want to believe they can. They're special in their own way. We're special in our own way. And we should come together and be complementary. It's quite obvious. But, hey, common sense is uncommon these days. Anyway, let's read some of these comments and I'll take this bad boy home. Okay, first comment reads, had a lass ask me out once. I showed up for the date, and first thing she said, even before I sat down, even before saying hello, was, how much do you take home a month? Just want to make sure you're okay to pay for this. Not exact wording, but close enough. Didn't even sit down, just said, not interested, and walked out. Hey, man, salute to you, man. You're smart. You're doing the right thing. Imagine, right? How bold-faced was she? How much you take home a month? You should ask her, how well do you give fellatio? Right? Do you lickle the balls? Do you lickle the balls? I'm just curious, right? Because I want to make sure that even before I even take you on a date, that this is even worth considering. Because, you know, I'm a big fan of fellatio. Ridiculous. Anyway, next comment says, men would rather be in the forest with a bear than a woman because a bear won't make false allegations against them. True, right? There's no bears a part of me too. I'm telling you, there's none. Another comment says, just 63%. We can do better, man. Yeah, I know. Look, I think a huge portion of men need to go their own way because look, what else? What else you got to lose, right? Nothing else. I mean, they're not dating you anyway, right? You're too short, right? You don't make enough money, right? You're not Chad enough, right? You're not Tyrone enough. So might as well do your own thing. Might as well go to the gym, get fit for yourself, go pursue a profession that you can make a good amount of wealth for yourself, and then from there, let the women flock to you, and then you decide. That's how we got to spin this whole thing around. That's my plan right now. I've been done wrong by the last girl that I was talking to recently, and I'm just like, I'm glad this happened. And she was attractive. She was good looking. She had a nice body, but she was controlling, and she was always trying to challenge me. I don't understand why girls think being combative is attractive. It's just unattractive. But when she's combative with me, she blamed me. And so this is how the gaslighting thing works, right? I'll say something, she'll challenge it, and she'll become furious because I won't sway my position. And then the fight, an all-out argument on sets. But by the way, I wasn't being disrespectful. She was borderline being disrespectful. But either way, it was toxic, and now we're done. And I'm happy about that. Because I needed that one last kick in the rear end to realize that I don't need this bullshit. This is what I need to be doing. I need to be making YouTube videos. I need to be providing for the audience. I need to be working my butt off. Okay? And I'll let the women compete for me. Sounds like a good deal to me. Oh, maybe we should try it. All right, let's read some more comments and then wrap this whole thing up. Another comment says, in the immortal words of Chris Rock, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under condition that he can provide something. Absolutely. And we're okay with this. That's the funny part about all this, is that we accept it. We accept that our love is conditional. But the only thing we ask in return is that women show up and fulfill what we want from women, right? We want them to be polite, kind, fit, feminine, friendly, not fight with us, be our peace. How come, people think men are so different. Oh yeah, the kind of man I want is this, and the kind of man I want is that, and he's going to like me for me. Bro, most men are the same. We don't want 304s. We want a girl that cooperates with us, and we won't want a girl that causes drama. It's like, it's so simple. It's like, if you want to be good for one man, you could do the exact same thing to be good for all men, because we all pretty much want the same thing. It might be a different race. It might be a different curvature to it. Some people want the super slim. Some people want a little bit more meat on the bone. Either way, the same software for how to behave as a woman doesn't change. It just doesn't. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.